So there are some very exciting people heading to Congress next year. We have Cori Bush, Jamal Bowman, Mondaire Jones, Marie Newman. But there are also some less exciting people headed there. We have Madison Cawthorn, who is now going to be the youngest member of Congress ever. He is a Republican. I haven't looked much into him, other than I know that he's very much a mainstream conservative with almost all of his beliefs. So nothing really novel there, despite him being an incredibly young member of Congress. We also have Marjorie Taylor Greene, and we'll jump into she made a bit of a spectacle on during the freshman orientation. So we'll just jump right into it. This story is coming from Yahoo News, and as usual, I will link this story in the description of this video so you guys can follow along. So, newly elected House lawmakers arrived on Capitol Hill this week for freshman orientation, and one with a reputation for spreading conspiracy theories objected to being made to wear a mask inside the Capitol. Our first session of new member orientation covered COVID in Congress. Masks, masks, masks. Marjorie Taylor Greene, a Republican Congresswoman elect from Georgia, tweeted early Friday, "I proudly told my freshman class that masks are oppressive." This is someone that is heading to Congress. It's just nonsense. Like, masks are oppressive. Like, this is so insane. Like, the idea, like, it's one thing, there's people, on the, some Trump supporters on the street saying, that masks are some form of tyranny. But this is someone that is going to be a congressperson. And we'll just keep going. In Georgia, we work out, shop, go to restaurants, go to work, and school without masks. Greene continued, "My body, my choice." Just the subversion of the "my body, my choice" saying and using it in this regard is it's insane. And she also added the hashtag free your face. Greene was photographed arriving on Capitol Hill with her mask, which was emblemized with the American flag hanging off her ear. She was seen leaving orientation with it on, implying that they made her put it on at some point. Fellow freshman Madison Cawthorn told reporters that Greene had a pretty fiery exchange over the mask rule with officials during a briefing. And, we can see a little bit further that there is a little bit on Georgia's specifically. Her objection to mask wearing comes amid the country's raging coronavirus pandemic. More than 152,000 new COVID-19 cases were reported in the U.S. Thursday, according to Johns Hopkins University. There have been more than 10.5 million confirmed coronavirus cases in the U.S. More than 242,000 Americans have died. Georgia is among the dozens of states to have seen an uptick in coronavirus cases and deaths, and it ranks sixth among states with the most COVID cases. And so here we have the shift. This is not someone that I feel would have been able to get elected prior to Trump. This is very much a product of what the Trump administration, and it really is a product of this idea that I know a lot of people were saying, like, maybe to say a lot of people is a little too much, but there were some people, some lefties that thought that if Trump is going to get elected, that is going to accelerate the progressive movement in this country, and it's going to accelerate, the real change that we need. This was obviously not even remotely true. We have seen huge setbacks for the left under the Trump presidency, and there's been some very positive things. Obviously, we've seen AOC, Ilhan Omar, Cori Bush, Jamal Bowman enter Congress, but we've also just seen in terms of policy a disaster. It has been a total and complete disaster, and what we've also seen is this more nationalist, right-wing, populist, I'm hesitant to call it populist, but this movement that's growing on the right. And this is not someone that would have been able to enter before. You had the Tea Party under Obama. The Tea Party was more of this fiscal conservatism. There was some, more socially right-wing elements of it. But this is a whole new animal. I mean, there was a live stream of Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, this is before she was running for Congress, but still, it's just insane, where she was talking about how there was, she referred to it as like a Muslim takeover of Congress. And I have a video on this. I could link it in the video where she literally referred it to as a Muslim takeover of Congress because Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib entered Congress. So she viewed it as a problem that there were Muslim people entering Congress, and she referred to it as a takeover because there were two. And she was like upset that they didn't want to, they like swore in on the Quran instead of the Bible. And she's like, you have to swear in on the Bible, even though you don't. And it wouldn't make sense to have someone that their religion isn't Christianity swear in on a Bible because it wouldn't mean anything to them. This is crazy, and you see. Also, when you have this president that just completely disregards the advice of the scientific community, the medical community, and just says, oh, well, you guys don't have to wear masks. Masks don't help. That makes fun of people for wearing masks. You're going to see this person. Because Trump is a bit of a a charlatan with what he does. Frankly, I'm not sure I believe a lot of the things that he says that he actually believes them. Maybe I think that he is, he's someone that I believe people say he's like a germaphobe. And so I think that he which makes it even more nefarious, his downplaying of this disease, and the downplaying of mask wearing. But you see people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who unironically is calling wearing a mask a form of oppression. Like, this is insane. This is insane. This is how warped our perception of freedom in this country is, where we feel like the idea that you have to wear a mask, even though you have to wear a shirt if you go into a store, you have to wear shoes, no shirts, no shoes, no service. This is a very common thing. And because we're in a pandemic that is over 10 million Americans have been infected, 242,000 people have died at least. These are the low numbers, mind you. This is insane. This is insane. To call wearing a mask oppressive to help not spread this deadly virus is absolutely insane. I'm not looking forward to probably the many stories that will come from Marjorie Taylor Greene. There are already other scandals that have, or scandals is the wrong way to put it, but she had like a campaign ad that was very controversial because she was like bearing she had like a gun, and she was like, oh, Antifa, if they're gonna come to my state, I'll be ready, or something along those lines. This is not exciting to see this happening, and the idea of this popping up in more areas of the country, not good. Now, this is a very, very conservative area in Georgia that she's coming from, which is ironic because Georgia did go blue this election. But it'll be interesting. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you disagree with anything I said, or if you feel like I got anything wrong, if I took anything out of context or miscommunicated anything, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what I got wrong. And other than that, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and have a great day.